Well, thank you for being here with me once again in another episode of A Legacy of Love, Un Legado de Amor. And I have a very, very special guest today that she also has a story to tell, like we all do have a story. And her name is Andrea Mason. Thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you so much, Analee. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm truly grateful.
Would you share a little bit about what you do for a living or a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. My name is Andrea Mason, so your global voice, your first choice. I'm an alumna of Les Brown, as well as the CEO of Press Play, Plan Life According to You, LLC. I'm a life coach, a resolution specialist, an accountability coach, as well as a global ambassador. My goal is to help you achieve personal freedom through the healing power of forgiveness and go from victim to victorious. Back to you.
Wow, well, that is wonderful. Well, let's talk about when you're talking about from victim to victorious. We all have a story. Like we shared before we were in the recording, I had a story too. And I know
Mhm.
that you also had a story, a journey. And I call it baby steps. I didn't get here and I didn't become who I am right now. All of a sudden, it took baby steps. Could you share what you had to overcome?
Yes. So I came to America from Colombia, South America during the cartel. I was 11 pounds, 11 months old. That's a pound per month. I was with malnourished and with a distended stomach. But the beauty of it was I was welcomed into the open arms of my adoptive parents with unconditional love and welcome to America. Yes.
Wow. So what did you, besides you that you went through all that journey that you don't remember, that you probably don't even know because you were just a baby, what are the things that you had to overcome from that situation that you went through? Because I bet that still back then and now there's still things that you had to overcome as time was going by and you were growing and you were becoming this beautiful young lady, and other people will relate. Well, the malnourishing and other factors that you went through.
Yes, I was able to recover my nourishment with my family's home cooking, that of the Italian and Irish cuisine, well, mostly predominantly the Italian cuisine. But what overcome, Annalie, was in my elementary school. I'll never forget my parents at the age that they felt deemed fit told me I was adopted. And I was so excited. They handed me a book and they shared with me the journey that I was their gift. Well, that didn't really transpire and transcend over to when I went into the world. I remember we were doing a project in school of your lineage and ancestry, and I would put these pictures up. And kids can be cruel, and they were. And they said, wait a minute, you don't look like your parents. I said, no, I was adopted. And that's when the downward spiral occurred of life's adversities. They said, well, if your mom and dad didn't want you, how could you be loved or loved? And that was the victim mindset I adopted personally, which allowed me to fail at everything at life: academics, relationships, jobs, universities, you name it, because I didn't feel like I fit in. I was having the difficulty of not understanding. My comprehension was different than others. At that time, it was only cookie cutter learning, and mine was different. It was also not being able to relate to the Hispanic community when I did go into regions that were there because I didn't speak fluently, although I looked like them. And finding my niche in the world when you pretty much come to the world with a blank slate. So I was able to, as Matthew McConaughey, the American actor, say, find out what I don't want to be, and then you'll carve out who you are, paraphrased in one of his collegiate speeches. And so I was able to create my own identity, that of authenticity and integrity. And it was difficult, but I used the outlets of athletics and music. Athletics to learn how to be a team player, a leader, and learn how to lose, as well as music, the universal language of love and communication when I wasn't able to really express my feelings properly. Back to you.
What would you tell people? Because a lot of questions are coming to my mind
Hmm.
when they are rejected, when they're they're being bullied, when they're being because they're adopted, so other people are labeling them and they're saying, well, guess what? You were never loved. You were never
Hmm.
wanted, which I'm going to tell you one thing, even regular people battle with that. Even
Hmm.
regular people also feel like they're not wanted, even though they have their real parents, their biological parents. So what would you tell people when they go to those dark places and or they hear little voices? Because it's not only people that show up. You could also literally hear those dark entities' voices that are telling you, "Oh, you're not wanted. Oh, you're not loved. Oh, who's gonna care about you? Look, you don't look like them. You're very different. Blah blah blah." What would you say?
Well, I want to recall and recite my mentor and coach Les Brown's quote: "Others people's opinions of you doesn't have to become your reality." But at an early age and an early stage, what makes you unique makes you authentic. We all have a fingerprint in life. And if we are reminded by that analogy that we are different from everyone else and learn how to have a symbiotic relationship, your areas of improvement may be my strengths. And we embrace that rather than ignore it, then that's what's going to help us flourish in life. We are not made the same for a reason. The creator, our faith, our belief system makes us different in each way. That what allows us to communicate and have an effective relationship with one another. We're constantly learning from one another. And what I would say is if those individuals have a negative perspective or perception about you, number one, take ownership and accountability and see how you're portraying your personality to the world. Make sure you're being authentic in you. Number two, remember where the source is. We are not mind readers. We must understand that people are coming from based on their own experiences. And as you mentioned earlier, at different levels in their life. And number three, gain clarity. Be bold enough and brave enough to ask questions and have understanding when you're meeting someone for the first time or when somebody comes to you with a negative perspective, whether it's a statement, an action, or a belief in them. Well, what made you come to that conclusion? What did I say or what did I do? And then you'll be able to have a better understanding and shift the conversation to a communicative conversation rather than an attack. It's easier to respond as opposed to react. But our animal instincts want us to react and be on the defense mode because we haven't faced our past. And if we don't face our past will continue to chase us.
I agree. And I think also another thing is to have really good support system. I
Yeah.
think that that is a very important thing to have. Good friends. It's not about having this volume, this mass of people in your life. It's about having quality, not quantity. I think that as you're passing life, you should be able to reflect on those people that inspire you, that lift you up.
Hmm.
Not those that actually take you to a dark place, that put you down, that say ugly things to you. And
Right.
those same people that uplift you, you would go and question and ask them, this is what I experienced today. What do you think about it? This is how it's making me
Hmm.
feel. This is
Right.
what, how it went. And, blah, blah, blah,
Hmm.
during the conversation. It will actually allow you to have a clearer perspective of where it was going. And also be proud of yourself, of who you are, that you're different. That is wonderful. It would be extremely boring, if we
Right.
were all the same, if we would all
Yeah.
have the same background, the same ethnicity, the same what we like to eat. Like you said, I have
Hmm.
this Italian background, and I could see in your face that the glow. You're so proud of that.
Yeah.
You embrace it. You've been adopted, and I think
Hmm.
that you have to recognize that it's okay to be adopted. You and actually, even at my age, and I have my biological parents. You know what? I've chosen to also be adopted. And you're going to say, what?
Right.
Yes, I've
Right.
I've chosen because of my faith, because of my belief system that, you know what? I believe in a higher power and I've chosen to be adopted. And that is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Adopted, and I love to cook as well as you shared. So that brings us together. It doesn't
Mm,
matter, where you come, your background, but we're all connected in one way or another. And if you're going to
mhm.
have authentic relationships, they have to be, like you
Right.
said, authentic,
Yeah.
genuine, real,
Mhm.
just, down to earth. Let's just be real. No, we don't need arrogance. If you're noticing that there's something that's not right, well, trust your inner instinct that
Yeah.
there's something that's not right, that's not healthy. And that's when you decide to push away and
Mhm.
wish everyone the very best. That's what I would
Right.
advise. And I know that there's going to be people that are going to want to hear from you because they
Yes.
could see in your face that you have all
Mm.
this joy and you're very I could see you're a happy person and that you want
Yes.
to share, the changes that you've done with others. Where could they contact you? Share with us a last message. We would really love that.
Absolutely. Anything you've gone through gives you the right and certification and permission to help others achieve it too, and to follow your heart, not the herd nor the hurt, for success and joyfulness are on the other side guaranteed. It's what makes us different, that makes us unique. And energy flows where focus goes. So choose to be happy. Why not? We have the chance every single moment. And when we choose to be happy, we choose to press play, plan life according to you. So people can reach me at the link right here, AndreaMasons.com. And my book is Victim to Victorious, which can be found on Amazon. And I welcome your connection. I'm going to, gift everyone today with a segment of this title, a 30-minute complimentary connection on how you can embrace life, be authentic, and choose to press play. Plan life according to you and your life. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being here once again on another
Yes,
episode of A Legacy of Love. And thank you as well for being part of
yes,
this podcast. And I know that there will be a lot more people coming along. Have a wonderful day and thank you.
yes. Thank you too.